You are watching Ubc News Tonight. My name is Sharon Chomdishe with Nakakoni Elizabeth on sign language. A very good evening. Let's take a look at our top stories today. EC rejects proposal to print ballots locally. Uganda-Kenya cross-border MOU to end female genital mutilation. In more stories, Uganda's newborns and child health promising. In our sports story, Namtevi Chirawo wins gold at Kana in Tunisia. In more sports story, SC Villa edges Express FC in Uganda derby. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV Inspiring Uganda. Now, in our top stories today, the Chairman Electoral Commission, Justice Simon Byabakama, has rejected a proposal by political activists to have election ballot papers printed in Uganda. The proposal, according to activists, will conform to the current Ugandan trade policy of Buy Uganda, Build Uganda. This was during celebrations to mark World Democracy Day, with Byabakama emphasizing that printing ballot papers may turn disastrous to elections outcomes in Uganda. Take a look.
Too many ideas and proposals ran in the minds of these political activists as they embarked on an early morning trek to Kololo Independence Grounds, one that was outstanding. Was the idea of printing ballot papers locally, as opposed to the practice of having them printed abroad.
We need to sort out the issues that have actually caused that skepticism around Uganda not being to the level of printing its own electoral material, addressing trust issues within ourselves, addressing transparency issues within the companies, addressing issues of integrity within the entities that we seek to hire to do these jobs.
The political activists say this will hit two birds with one stone through promoting Uganda's trade policy of Bubu and advancing Uganda's electoral democracy.
I am one of the persons that strongly feels that we should be printing our own electoral material. Why? First of all, the printing of electoral material is very costly. There's a lot of money that goes into that. And that essentially means that we are sending that money to another country. We should actually be retaining that money in our economy.
Electoral Commission Chairperson Simon Byabakama, however, disagrees, saying such a move will be disastrous.
In a bid to make the process appear as transparent as possible, that's why the EC says, let's go and do it in a neutral country, with a neutral agency. If you award the tender here to whichever organization, they will start digging up. It is yellow, it is blue, it is red, it is what? So what do you want us to do? So I think unless really we come out with an elaborate procedure where the people can be satisfied themselves that we can do it ourselves and we shall respect the work done here. But for now, we are not yet, I think, in the business of boboing our ballot papers.
In a country where general elections are always followed by petitions, the public is urged to always participate in verifying candidates' academic documents. This was during celebrations to mark World Day of Democracy, which in Uganda was facilitated by United Nations Development Program.
But the first responsibility is upon the candidate. Please, can you present authentic academic papers so that you don't waste people's time? Why should the court annul your victory on account of a question of academic papers or credentials, which you could have corrected yourself beforehand?
And as we work together, in terms of supporting the roadmap to 2021 elections, you can count on the United Nations to work with you. We at UNDP have a program, thank you, that is, focusing on deepening democracy and the rule of law here in Uganda. And we're going to continue working with all the stakeholders in this process.
Uganda is one of the countries whose democracy is growing. It, however, requires cooperation among political actors, as recently put by former Makerere Don, Professor Tanga Odoi.
I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, being an administrator of an electoral process in a third world country is one of the hills without slopes.
The International Day of Democracy was marked at Kololo Independence Grounds under the theme, Participate to Promote Democracy. Henry Okurut, UBC.
Thank you, Henry Okurut. In more news, police has received more bodies of Ugandans who died from abroad where they had gone in search for job opportunities. Now, initially, police was expecting only one body of Kiwanuka Moses, who was allegedly found dead in his bed in Kuwait 3 months ago. However, as Charles Twine, the CAD spokesperson, elucidates, police was shocked to find more two cargo pieces containing the remains of Nagawa Sarah and Sylvia Mutonyi, who also died abroad at work.
Just a day after successful repatriation of the remains of two young men who allegedly died in June in Kuwait, police has again received 3 more bodies from Dubai, Oman and Kuwait. According to Charles Twine, the CID spokesperson, police was expecting the remains of Kiwanuka Moses, one of the 3 men that died on the same day in Kuwait under unclear circumstances.
Receive the body of Kiwanuka, but when we reached there, we got those other issues.
According to the manifest that accompanied the bodies, it is alleged that 24-year-old Sylvia Mutonyi died in May, while 42-year-old Nagawa Sarah died in June. Police acknowledges the fact that Mutonyi's case had been reported, and as such, efforts to repatriate her remains were yet to yield results.
But on a good note, the family also expeditiously engaged the other agencies and retrieved the body in time. So we thank them for that, but it's not because we are negligent. We would actually also sooner or later retrieve this body. Nagawa's body was brought in by her relative, some lady who traveled to Dubai, and even according to the airway bill, the body is addressed in her names.
Accordingly, the bodies have been delivered to the city mortuary for post-mortem before they are handed over to their relatives for burial. Meanwhile, the families of the 2 bodies that were repatriated on Thursday have received and taken their beloved ones home. Witnessing the return of lifeless Mojoni John Torres, residents of Makindi Madriza zone yelled in pain for the loss of the son of the soil. One by one, mourners decried the ever-increasing unemployment level in the country, a factor they blame for pushing Torres abroad, where he met his death.
Teyaligenze fiireeyo singa abadde akolera wano mwe temuliwo wano kyogamba abadde asiiba ku mazzi ate tasiiba ku mazzi kyogamba yagayigireeyo yalivudde wano ng'abadde asobola okukolerawo emirimu gye nga mwe mukola egyammwe.
Dorcas Kimono and Gloria Gwitabinji, UBC TV News.
Now, Buganda Road Court Grade 1 Magistrate Aka Keti Joan has charged and remanded one Biekwaso Halima, aka Mutesia Net, for allegedly cheating one Nankumba Irene of her money worth $200 as money purportedly meant to process her recruitment opportunity for a job in Jordan. Court frustrated Biekwaso's bail application after her sureties were found ill-prepared for the task. Court has accordingly set the 27th of this month as the day to kickstart hearing this case. Details follow.
Prosecution alleges that Biekwaso has for long been operating an unlicensed labor company in the names of VBC Labor Export Limited, through which, on the fateful day of 10th this month, she cheated one Nankumba Irene. It is said Biekwaso collected $200 from Nankumba as money purportedly meant to process her recruitment opportunity for a job in Jordan. While appearing before Buganda Road Court Grade 1 Magistrate, Biekwaso pleaded not guilty of all counts. Biekwaso unsuccessfully attempted to secure bail after the magistrate faulted her sureties of not being serious before adjourning the case to the 27th of this month.
And you show yourself to court that we are available Now you sit, they start probing where are the sureties, where are the sureties. It is not the duty of court to probe for sureties. So it's 27th is a date fixed for hearing.
Attending the court session was one Egesa Jackson, a cousin to Acheng Sarah, yet another Ugandan who died in Oman 3 months ago. According to Egesa, Acheng Sarah is one of Biekwaso's victims whom she externalized to Oman sometime last year.
Abana abali ebwewe bebatuweereza bu clips ku WhatsApp ne batugamba bannaye Sarah afudde. Kati bali abaana bagamba Sarah yali asimula n'aseerera n'akola ki? N'agwa. Kati mu kugwa bwe bamusikula mu kifo ky'omutwala mu ddwaliro bamutwala wa? Ku kampuni eyamubakwasa.
Egesa reveals that after the death of their daughter, Biekwaso first promised to meet all repatriation expenses plus educating Sarah's children.
No waitawe ebbanga awo n'agamba mulongose waka tuleeta omulambo. Ebbanga eno erigwako.
Egesa says all he wants from the accused is cooperation, especially during this time when the family feels like giving up on repatriation of their daughter's remains.
Abeeko naye kyakulanga ye ono omwana asobola okukola ki kubanga for the moment obusobozi badde tebuliiwo obujjayo omwana era ne muzeeyi we atambudde nnyo agezezzaako buli wamu akoze eki muzeeyi yali agamba mugambo ba milioni 14.
Dorcas Kimono and Gloria Gwitabinji, UBC TV News.
Today was all excitement as people from Busoga waited for the Chabazinga of Busoga as it celebrates 5 years on the throne. Now here's the moment we captured as the people waited for their king along the way. Now, the Speaker of Parliament has applauded the Chabazinga of Busoga for spearheading development in Busoga. She pledged government's commitment to work on the roads and the airfield in the area and as well as promote tourism. The Chabazinga of Busoga urged parents to educate their children if they have to be productive in society. Take a look.
We are coming to you live on air from Butembe Chiefdom, and this is where the 5th coronation activities of the
so oluguudo olwo tugenda kwa maanyi tubone nti ensonga ekutuka. Airport yaife yali emirimu gye tulikola ne Minister wa Works, this Information Authority, the local government yeeyinda okusobola okutaawa ekitaawo ekyo kubanga kijja kutumbula embeera yaife mu Busoga.
Emyaka esatu egiyise ennyuma twatandikawo ekigambo eky'abaana nga ne youth retreat abali wakati w'emyaka 9 mpaka 23 ng'omulamwa gwakwongera kusomesa abaana ebyobuwangwa n'ennono n'okuba abantu ab'obuvunaanyizibwa. Abaana abasweka mu 3 abakatanyibwa mu nteekateeka eno ne bazaabazaire abasobozesa abaana baibwe okweyunga mu musomo guno era n'ayongera okukubiriza abandi okuleeta abaana ensoma egingi eginayirako.
Now, health researchers are analyzing the country's performance in relation to the Sustainable Development Goals on health. The Countdown to 2030 Initiative for Reproductive, Maternal and Newborn, Child and Adolescent Health aims are generating data to guide policy and programming. Take a look.
Research carried out by Makerere University School of Public Health in collaboration with African Population Health Research Center on maternal, newborn and child health has revealed that there is a lot of improvement in the reduction of maternal, infant and child deaths. However, a lot also needs to be done in order for the country to achieve Sustainable Development Goals on health. The research has shown that in Uganda, 1 out of 16 children born dies before the age of 5.
In other words, one of the key lessons is, whereas the government has focused so much on serving the poor in the rural areas, now we can't forget about people in urban areas. There are also the poor who are living in these urban areas. So until we focus on them also, then we are not going to achieve the goals of child mortality reduction.
The research has also revealed that 6 sub-regions of Karamoja, Busoga, Bunyoro, North Central, West Nile and Toro are performing poorly in maternal and infant health.
One of the reasons why some of these regions are not doing well is that their health systems are quite weak, and the way they implement also programs is quite weak. One of the things we found that if you look at intervention like immunization, like nutrition, like breastfeeding, care for sick children, these regions generally perform poorly in terms of implementation.
We are going to prioritize those areas. We have a package of services which we have prioritized, also called an essential package. So we are going to put more effort, more energy in those places. But putting energy is not enough. Another important thing is to make sure that we continue to monitor. All the time we see the changes, and that's also another area where we don't have much effort.
One of the Sustainable Development Goals on health is to end all preventable maternal, newborn and child deaths by the year 2030. Adiana Kute, UBC.
UBC News Tonight will take a short commercial break and we'll be back with more news for you.
Every dream has a challenging journey. Ours began in 1998 with a mission to drive the development of a robust communications sector in Uganda. We created structures to champion the dream. We've evolved, made discoveries, supported great minds, empowered Ugandans, and fostered a vibrant culture, enabling communication for all. Down the years, we've created memories and networks, uniting generations and building great partnerships. Together, we can go even further. UCC, celebrating 20 years of achievements.
Have you completed Senior 4 or Senior 6 and you want to do a 2-year certificate or a diploma course? Makerere Institute for Social Development, an affiliate to Makerere Business School, offers programs in accounting and finance, business administration, procurement and supplies management, social work and social administration, information technology, counseling and guidance, human resource, project planning and management, journalism, secretarial studies, and many others. We are located on Sa Apollo Kegwa Road, next to Oilcom Petrol Station, with a UBTEP Center number.
Measles and rubella outbreaks are still being reported in some districts in Uganda, putting the lives of our children at risk. In order to stop these outbreaks and maintain a polio-free Uganda, the Ministry of Health has planned a national measles, rubella and polio immunization campaign for all children under 15 years of age on 16th to 20th October 2019, starting 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. All vaccines are safe, effective, and free. Parents and caretakers are hereby asked to take all children under 15 years of age for immunization at the nearest health facility or immunization post. Ministry of Health also calls upon everybody to report any child with a fever and generalized skin rash to the nearest health facility or health worker immediately. This could be measles or rubella. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from World Health Organization and UNICEF.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pain Arena. Introducing on the right corner, Mr. Action, the reigning heavyweight champion in the ring against
the Headache, the #1 contender. And the bell rings.
Headache charges forward with a steady right and a left hook. Action dodges. He misses out with an inch. Wait a minute. Mr. Action launches back with a kick. The final blow. He is out.
If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Inspirational moment with Pastor Jackson Senyonga of Christian Life Church, Kampala.
Saving at least 8 to 10% of your income and put it on savings. If your wife or husband gets to know that in a week we don't have to take meat 5 times. Saving account nomwami ajja kugumikiriza n'engoye ennungi ziyinza kulinda kubanga mumanyi nti mulina ekinene kye musevingira. That partner will be able to wait because she's aware of the big things that are trying to save for. Musevinga sente z'abaana mama okusoma mu bibiina ebyeyongera waggulu eyo. Save some money that will educate your children. Tolinda bulinzi. University ng'etuuse. Until university time. Olina omukisa. You have an opportunity. Okutandika okusevinga. Of starting to save. Mpola mpola. Little. Mpola mpola. Little by little. Mpola mpola. Little by little. Mpola mpola. Wagendera mu university. By the time they get to university, you have money to pay for the first or second semester.
P5 National Deliverance Day 2019 at Mandela National Stadium, Nambole. Pastor Jackson and Eve Senyonga of Christian Life Church, Makere Kavule, Kampala, invite you to the P5 National Deliverance Day 2019, 8 a.m. to 6 a.m. all day, all night. Come and be delivered from poverty, rejection, suffering, generational curses, bad dreams, false prophets, and witchcraft. Don't miss special prayers for your deliverance, marital, spiritual, career, and financial blessings. Entrance is free. P5 National Deliverance Day. Uganda Library has reduced its fares on that day as little as 500 shillings going and 1,000 shillings coming back.
Does heartburn stop you from eating the things you love? Eating too fast, alcohol or spicy food can trigger acidity, heartburn, indigestion or flatulence. Your best bet is Better Cool. Better Cool works fast to relieve acidity, heartburn and indigestion. Trust Better Cool. Enjoy life.
If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
You're still watching UBC News Tonight. In more stories, the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, in partnership with the State Minister for Tourism, Godfrey Chiwanda, sensitizing political leaders on recruiting companies abroad. Now, statistics indicate that since 2016, 41,580 Ugandans have been employed in the UAE countries. All these Ugandans pass through registered companies, despite the fake ones involved in human trafficking. We have a detailed report on this story.
Over 41,580 Ugandans are already working in the United Arab Emirates, and out of this, 29,359 are female and 12,221 are male. This is according to the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development statistics since 2016-19. However, despite the increasing numbers of Ugandans yearning to work abroad, there are still several challenges, which include human trafficking and torture by unregistered companies, which have caused government to be accused for not doing enough to fight these vices. A senior labour officer at the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, Wasukira Raymond, says, in the efforts to fight these vices of human trafficking and torture, government has registered over 160 recruiting companies abroad and encouraged Ugandans to use them.
You should know a true company. There are other companies that are not genuine, others are genuine. So please take the initiative of knowing these companies so that you move freely in a company that is legally registered. Placement fees are known. We don't charge any fees. Companies are not mandated to charge placement fees apart from something maybe like application, which is about 50,000.
This was during the sensitization workshop for Mityana, Mubende and Kasanda political leaders organized by Minister of State for Tourism, Godfrey Chiwanda, and the Ministry of Gender and Enro Hotel in Mityana Municipality. Chiwanda said the workshop aimed at training political leaders on the registered recruiting companies and regulations guiding the industry. Chiwanda commended the good work done by registered companies, but said a lot is still needed because unemployment is still at 67%.
Then when they have the information, they should work with the right people. If they have some people to guide from their sub-counties, that's why I've called the women leaders, because most of the people are going are women. Some of them are married, some of them are single mothers. So they need to get this information so that if any company comes to their sub-counties, they can be able to interact with them, they can even be able to ask them, they can even to get this kind of, because now this company, most of the companies that have been going to the villages, they are not registered, they take our people illegally. So
the general manager, Premier Recruiting Company, Kanasha, and the political leaders after the workshop had their say on external labour placement.
Or you may not have even completed high school. Don't worry if you can't find your dream job. Most people will never start their careers in their dream job. I would encourage you to take any opportunity that you can. There's a lot of uncertainty in the world today, and especially when you look at Uganda, has the largest youngest population in the world, with a very, very high rate of unemployment between 18 to 25-year-olds.
This to compare it to what they should recruit. So sometimes they recruit in excess when they have less jobs, which has caused the commotion to their offices.
Company ezikola bulungi zikola bulungi naye abaana abafunye ebizibu abasinga obungi bwe bakukusa obukukusa ne babayise Nairobi ku bigere naye abantu abayise mu kampuni agalagirwa amateeka bali mu mbeera nnungi.
External labour jobs, especially in Arab, are currently strewn with controversies hinged on mistreatment of Africans while at work. Report compiled by Salon Kasvante in Mityana.
Following the signing of cross-border sustainable peace memo between the Karamojong, Turkana and West Pokot communities, crusaders in the fight against female genital mutilation believe this barbaric practice, which has dogged these communities for long, may be finally nipped in the bud across the board. Take a look.
Characterized by low literacy levels, Karamoja, Turkana and West Pokot tribes rate among the most underdeveloped sub-regions in Uganda and Kenya. The 65-page Memorandum of Understanding, whose signing was witnessed by the two presidents of Kenya and Uganda, seeks to address specific issues that have for long dogged the neighboring pastoral communities of Turkana, West Pokot, and Karimajong. One such issue is the female genital mutilation. This practice mainly targets girls under the age of 15, which is considered a violation of human rights. It is still deeply rooted in some parts of Uganda and Kenyan cultures. In 2010, Uganda passed a law making it illegal to practice FGM. However, reports of females crossing borders to mutilate have been reported in the recent past, which has been blamed on lack of political commitment on the side of the two governments to end the vice. After putting pen to paper on an MOU which aims at eliminating the practice among others, development partners believe it may be the final straw for FGM in the region.
It is true that there's reports of girls crossing on both sides, but the fact that those reports are there as compared to before, where they wouldn't cross because there was massive cutting on both sides, is a small step in the right direction. So we do believe that if you improve the quality of life and you give alternative livelihoods to the communities, this so-called rite of passage will evolve as well. Because they're calling it a rite of passage into adulthood. There can be another way for you to be able to become an adult and to be able to contribute to that community. So I am very, very hopeful. Last night I was listening to the elders and the governors discussing, and they were saying about how when they were approving the signing of this MOU, 20 minutes went only into, are we going to be able to deal with FGM? So imagine, it wasn't even us. They are the ones who zeroed in. We can do the economic development, we can do everything else, but can we do this to make sure that our women and girls retain their dignity? So I am very optimistic.
Siddharth Chattaraj, the UNDP resident representative in Kenya, says President Uhuru Kenyatta has already committed to end FGM by 2022.
In Kenya, not just too long ago, it was about 35% level of FGM. That means, close to 1 in 3 were cut. Now that has come down to 21% and we are making rapid progress. But in front of me, the President of Kenya actually asked the Executive Director of the UN Population Fund for support to help him end FGM in Kenya by 2022 as part of his legacy.
This optimism is shared across the board.
It's a need for government, and especially Kenya, because Kenya has totally failed in the provision of resources to their pastoralists. Like now in this belt, we have Kobebe, where the president has now visited. But you can't get a similar Kobebe on the other side. Our corridors are so empty, no water, there is nothing, no single bowl. So there is a need really to bring all those services, water, you bring education.
For a long time, these were once forgotten places. These were once forgotten communities, marginalized, both in Kenya and Uganda. And I think this kind of direction, with this kind of memorandums, fundings from United Nations, will go in hand to solve some of the problems that these communities face. For example, when you talk of water, water is a major problem for pastoralists in Kenya and Uganda, and to a large extent it will contribute to peace.
According to an FGM survey of 2016, more than 43% of the females in Karamoja and West Pokot have undergone female genital mutilation. Bernard Iga, UBC.
In our sports story, Uganda Swimming Federation scooped the first ever gold medal at the ongoing CANA Africa Age Group Swimming Championship in Tunisia. This achievement was by Chirabo Namtebi in the 50 meters breaststroke, who actually just got another medal on that.
For the first time ever at an underage continental swimming competition, Uganda has won a gold medal. This was by Namutebi Kirabo, whose exploits in the 50-meter breaststroke final fetched gold in Tunisia. Namutebi raced home in 35.13 seconds, beating 8 others including Ayman Naden, Karas Ranaya, Kaylin Lisa, Taomi Melissa, and Motohinza Shaniso.
I'm really happy and excited that I won the medal for 50 meters breaststroke, and I'm happy that I got to represent Uganda in such a championship. I am thankful for everyone who made it possible for me to get here, and I'm looking forward to my other events.
Namutebi will have another shot at the gold medal later today when she competes in the 15 meters freestyle final. Uganda's other medal from this Kana event was silver by Rebecca Sengonzi in 2015 in Egypt. Uganda was represented in Tunisia by 12 swimmers including Swagia Mobiru, Paulsen Setumba, Tendo Kaumi and Hayan Kisitu.
I would like to say that this experience was very helpful, helping me to know how competitive other guys around Africa are, and I would like to thank the people who helped me to come to compete in this championship.
I'm thankful to all the people who brought me to the Tunisia Championships, and I'm really grateful for this exposure to international competition.
The championship climaxes this weekend with the open water swimming category, in which Uganda will be ably represented. John Barnes, Centum, reporting.
KCCA FC and Proline FC returning to continental action this weekend. Proline faces AS Kigali of Rwanda, while KCCA are in Angola to face Atletico Petroleos. Both teams arrived safely and had light training sessions. Meanwhile, the Uganda Pro Open Golf Tournament entered into its third day of competition, with foreign golfers still dominating. Details in this report.
Uganda's representatives at continental level, KCCA FC and Proline FC, are into action this weekend in the CAF Champions League and CAF Confederation Cup respectively. Proline faces AS Kigali, while KCCA FC are in Angola to face Atletico Petroleos. KCCA FC held their initial training session at Castatino Stadium in Luanda, with all the 17 players taking part. KCCA FC eliminated Namibia's African Stars FC, while the Angola's side eliminated Lesotho's Matlama.
We are injury-free. We are just prepared for the game, which we are going to play on Saturday. I think everything is okay. We had a little bit of fatigue, but through today's training, we cleared in some fatigue, and our muscles are now free and they are ready just to do the job.
It will be KCCA FC's second stint in Angola, the first one coming in 2017 against De La Gosto. And in golf, Zambia's Madalisto Mothia opened a 3-stroke lead on day 3 at the Castlelight Uganda Pro Open Golf Tournament at the Lake Victoria Serena Golf Resort and Spa. The Zambian pro was in commanding form with birdies in hole 5, 8, 12, 13 and 16 without dropping a shot as he chased the one leader, South African Ivan Mazibuko, who tied for second with Zimbabwe's Chalamba. Kenya's Rizan Chalania and South African Brayton Mayer are tied for fourth. Uganda's Abraham Ainemani is tied for 8th and is the highest placed Ugandan golfer going into the final day.
Now, SC Villa has edged Express FC in Uganda's oldest and arguably most anticipated football derby. The two came into this game knowing that only victory would suffice, albeit this early in the 2019-2020 Uganda Premier League. A flat first half ended scoreless, with both sides devoid of any clear-cut chances to break the deadlock. In the second half, Express FC, playing in the red jersey, appeared to be on this ascendant, but couldn't use ball possession to its advantage. At this point, and totally against the run of play, SC Villa pounced and got the solitary 3-point clincher with a well-taken Ambrose Kiria goal that maintained the record champions atop the standings. In the other game played, Toro United came from a goal down to pile misery on already troubled Uganda Revenue Authority in a 2-1 victory. That brings us to the end of our news bulletin at 10 p.m. Before we sign out, we'll take a final look at the headlines. EC rejects proposal to print ballots locally. In more local news, Uganda, Kenya cross-border MOU to end female genital mutilation. Uganda's newborns and child health promising. In our sports stories, Namtebi Chirabo wins gold at Kana in Tunisia. SC Villagers Express FC in Uganda derby. Well, congratulations to Namtebi and so many other people that have done us proud as Ugandans. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV Inspiring Uganda and for watching UBC News Tonight at 10 p.m. with me, Sharon Chomjishe and Nagakoni Elizabeth on sign language. From the team and I, have a lovely night.
Was brought to you by UCC, celebrating 20 years of achievements.
Let me drink one for the road. Let me drink one for the road. Oh, Sajate Undimba. Cause you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Whoa, whoa.
No, I've never been someone shy until I seen your eyes. Still I had to try, yeah. Girl, every little thing I do it for you. In every little song I sing it for you.
Three. What's up with number 3? It's 3 at Airtel and not 4 anymore. It's 3 shillings per second across all networks in Uganda.
Make calls from Airtel to all networks at 3 shillings per second. Get to talk to anyone on any network anytime at 3 shillings per second.
Airtel, the smartphone network. Airtel is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
Wedding traditions and customs vary greatly between cultures, countries, and social classes. On Platinum, we bring you a glimpse of bridal fashion for both men and women, hairstyles, makeup, and shoes, where you can pick a leaf for your occasion. The magnificent Platinum decor. The Platinum cake. The unforgettable moments at our traditional ceremonies. That ride is where we tie our knots. And the party begins.
Effective teaching techniques enable learners to develop the passion for learning.
Teaching with charisma, interaction and demonstration transform these students into excellent performers in knowledge and skills. Don't miss Time to Learn every Saturday on UBC TV, inspiring Uganda.